Hi, this is Rick for EDU Mobile Academy. Now we're going to talk about WatchKit. This discussion will be an overview, and then we'll have a demo of just taking an existing iOS app and preparing it to become a WatchKit app or provide a WatchKit interface. So what is WatchKit? WatchKit really is a framework that allows us to develop for apps for Apple Watch. It adds view controllers for the watch itself. Really, the WatchKit app is the part that runs on the watch. And when I say runs, that's really not what it's doing. It's sitting there. It's a read-only kind of interface, but we can change it using an extension. So WatchKit also adds classes that allow communication from our app that runs on the phone to the watch and back from the watch to the phone. And that's called the WatchKit extension. So WatchKit really contains two big pieces: the app that runs on the watch and the extension that handles the communication back and forth. So the WatchKit app adds watch functionality to an existing iPhone app. It groups controls into storyboards just like an iPhone app, but all those storyboards have to be static when the app is run. All the controls have to be present. Now they can be hidden or shown, but they must be present before the app is installed on the watch. The app is going automatically to be installed with prompt to the user on the watch when the app is installed on the phone if there is a paired watch present. WatchKit apps provide a watch interface to an app that's running on the phone. We've already talked about that. Only the storyboards and the resource files reside on the watch. All other files, including your app's logic, runs on the phone, and they exist on the phone. And the communication back and forth is handled by the WatchKit extension. So the role of the extension is to handle user input, which will be taps and swipes and so forth on the watch, to update the user interface by showing and hiding controls or switching view controllers on the watch using the watch's or the watch app's storyboard. So over on the watch, we have the WatchKit app itself. And it's really just storyboards and resource files that are required for the watch to display an interface. The extension communicates back and forth with the WatchKit app on the watch, and it also communicates back and forth with our iOS app on the phone. The extension and the iOS app are both on the phone. Only the WatchKit app, which is really only the storyboards and resource files, exist on the watch. There are three types of interaction that we can use. The app itself is always required. It's the full experience for the user using the watch. It's the way the user interacts with your app using the watch interface. This is not optional. You must always provide the full experience. Then there's a glance, and a glance is used when you need to provide important information or updates. So you're going to push a glance out to the watch. It's a read-only single screen of information. It should be very simple, and each glance is optional, or using any glance is optional. You can also customize notifications that happen to the watch. You can customize the appearance of the watch notifications using graphics, different graphics, by adding content or customizing the layout. This customization is also optional. And there are collections, if you choose to do this, there is a collection of storyboards for a static and dynamic notification that the user will receive that you can override the default appearance for those. So how do we add WatchKit functionality to an existing app? Well, first of all, it should be a pre-existing app. So when you're developing, develop the iPhone app first. Don't think about WatchKit. You're going to add that functionality later. But to add WatchKit functionality, first open the app to which you want to add WatchKit. Then add a target. So this is File, New, Target. And go to the WatchKit section that you'll receive in the screen and select WatchKit app. If you're going to be using glances or custom notifications, select those checkboxes. Now, it is recommended that you leave the notification scene checkbox checked because if you decide to add notifications later, you'll have to manually add a file that this checkbox will add for you. And I'm talking about custom notifications, if you decide to customize your notifications. So leave this one checked. It's easy enough to remove the file, but it's a little bit more difficult to add the file later. Glances you can add later. Now, by default, every project in this Xcode beta that we're talking about to use WatchKit with, and this may change later, by default, everything is Objective-C. So if you have chosen Swift as the language for your iOS app, you should probably choose Swift for your WatchKit extension as well. So select Swift or Objective-C as required for your app. The default, though, is Objective-C. So if you overlook this, then it's hard to switch over later. So what happens when you do this? Well, the WatchKit app is going to be placed in a group or a folder in the inspector named whatever your app is named, and then followed by WatchKit App. This group is going to contain the user interface and the resources for the watch part of the application. The WatchKit extension is placed in a group named whatever your app is named, and then WatchKit extension. Make sure to enable the WatchKit scheme when you're prompted, and select the appropriate language, Swift or Objective-C. And that's kind of a reminder from the last slide. The language selection happens when you're adding the WatchKit target. WatchKit is still in beta, so things may change. As of this date, however, which is early January 2015, WatchKit is still in beta, which means that some of the API, probably not much of the API, but some may change. There will be some things added, possibly. Xcode will morph into something a bit more usable, but at this point, it requires a beta version of Xcode, which is available at developer.apple.com/WatchKit. And because it's a beta, a developer beta, you currently must log in with your Apple developer credentials to download the file. So now that we've got this kind of initial overview discussion out of the way, we're going to have a demo of a Hello World app, a normal Hello World app, and then starting to develop a WatchKit extension and a WatchKit app using that Hello World app as a backbone. Thank you very much.